Petey here, welcome to the YouTube channel. This weekend, not only did I have an opportunity to say thank you for 20,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, that means the world to me, but also I got a chance to go to the Hollywood Bowl for the Infinity Saga Concert Experience and just watch Marvel clips and listen to the incredible music of Marvel, surrounded by thousands and thousands of Marvel fans, and it was a really cool time. This video is going to be a recap and opinion/reaction. So if you think you're going to see the Infinity Saga Concert Experience and you don't want to have anything from the experience spoiled for you, just cut to the end of the video where I will do my reaction portion of it. If you want to see uncut footage, if you want to know how it went down and hear about what it was like that night in detail, stick around right now because we're about to get started. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button, join the BD Army, and let's talk about Marvel's Infinity Saga Concert Experience. The show started with the Marvel legend himself, Kevin Feige, introducing the whole concert experience and announcing a world tour. So instead of me trying to describe that, I'm just going to let him tell it.
Now this concert premieres tonight, but next year it'll be performed by orchestras around the world as it goes on a world tour, which really is meaningful for us. I assume there are a lot of Marvel fans here tonight, but I'm not gonna presume everyone is, so I'm gonna give a bit of advice. There's a tradition at Marvel and on our films that you stay until the very end. You stay until the very, very end.
The Marvel Studios logo hit the screen, and that's when you realize they're really going to use all of the Hollywood Bowl stage and everything to make it an incredible design, and that quite literally set the stage for what was in store for the night.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people to see if we could become something more. So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
I did think the concert experience was going to be like a movie by movie, one after the next recap of the Infinity Saga with the music and characters being featured, but it ended up being like a major character by major character experience where we would get recaps of their journeys, especially in the beginning. It jumped right in with Iron Man, including mostly footage from Iron Man 1 and some clips from Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3, I think, was entirely left out.
My turn.
I also have to shout out how cool the projection of the Jarvis interface on the stage for Iron Man's first flight scene was. It was just incredible.
Test complete.
I was a little surprised they didn't have one little single golden firework blast off from the stage when Iron Man took off for his first flight in the Malibu garage, considering the Hollywood Bowl is just a bit up the street from that setting in the MCU. The next character was Captain America, with a huge focus on Captain America the First Avenger, showing Steve's journey from scrawny good guy to big buff good guy, and it brought out choreographed performers, bringing that patriotic propaganda version of Rogers to life, and kind of reminded me of Rogers the Musical from Disney's California Adventure Park at Avengers Campus. The trip to Asgard was next, and it was so cool to see the use of the Hollywood Bowl's structure to build up the golden skyscrapers of the realm. This section had Thor, Dark World, and Ragnarok footage in it, which all just reaffirmed Thor has some of the best moments and especially best entrances in the MCU. The Hulk did not get a section in this Infinity Saga Concert Experience. Maybe that's because The Incredible Hulk is technically a Universal Pictures movie, that maybe that's because you don't really maybe think of the Incredible Hulk score. I'm not really sure why. But the Hulk did have a really big part in it when it got to the first Avengers movie.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Hold on!
Send the rest.
Ant-Man and his score did get a short section, and I really love the Ant-Man score, so that was cool. Black Panther and Wakanda really solidified themselves as having some of the best music in the MCU, because not only was the footage great, but of course the music performed was fantastic, and this was one section that they actually brought out a musician playing on the talking drum who absolutely crushed it. The Black Panther section was definitely a bit emotional, especially considering we're looking at Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa on the screen, and this is just a few days after the 4-year anniversary of the world losing Chadwick Boseman. So that was really beautiful to experience with the crowd and feel like we're all sharing that emotion and memory of Chadwick. And the Black Panther music, of course, was just phenomenal. I was surprised how quick the Captain Marvel section of the Infinity Saga Concert Experience was. I mean, it flew through the Captain Marvel section. Now, maybe that's because Captain Marvel doesn't have a super memorable score. I'm not really sure why that was. She was featured in the Endgame stuff as well. But I was surprised by how quickly this performance and show moved past the Captain Marvel section. But it kind of just is what it is. The Spider-Man score from Spider-Man Homecoming from Michael Giacchino, that was played during this montage of character by character. And then the first half of the show culminated with the post-credit scene from the first Avengers movie and Thanos looking over his shoulder and giving that grin before the intermission took over.
Is to court death.
So at this point, I'm sitting there like, wow, I don't want this to end. I'm having the time of my life. It was so much fun. After the intermission, Guardians of the Galaxy opened up the second half and were one of the few portions to have live choreographed performers. It was mostly like Ravagers in the bunch, but you did have someone out there dressed up and made up to look like Yondu.
Mantis, look out!
What should we do next? Something good? Something bad? A bit of both?
We'll follow your lead, Star-Lord.
A bit of both. quo.
The second half of the show, though, was almost entirely focused on Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. One of my big takeaways from this whole second half, though, is that the Infinity Saga Concert Experience definitely seems like Marvel heard people talking about Black Widow not getting a tribute after she died in Endgame, and this took the opportunity to really give her a beautiful montage. When the concert experience got to the moment where Black Widow fell off of Vormir in Avengers Endgame, the moments where she is falling cut to an extended montage of her life. And this included footage from Iron Man 2, and it also went up to Black Widow for the flashbacks with young Natasha and Yelena Belova. And I'm pretty sure this is the only time anything from the actual concert experience that wasn't from that opening montage included footage from Phase 4. Like Spider-Man did not include Andrew and Tobey or anything like that. Black Widow's montage of her life was the only thing that actually jumped into the multiverse saga. There was also an epic use of the Hollywood Bowl to represent the Infinity Gauntlet, starting with only the Power Stone in the Infinity Gauntlet, and then it would actually illuminate when Thanos used it, and then throughout the experience, each new Infinity Stone would be added to the stage projection as Thanos acquired them. Like, for example, when he unplugged the Vision, you can see the Mind Stone being added. He's not going to be in Avengers Endgame. And then when Hulk snapped with the Nano Gauntlet to bring everyone back, it's the same thing on the screen with all the electricity and sparks adding to it. It was awesome.
I'm okay.
The whole thing was really top-notch. It was awesome. Experiencing Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame with thousands of Marvel fans, and that energy and the live music was probably the closest we're ever going to come to capturing or recapturing that magic of opening weekend when people were treating theaters like a sporting event. And that's what made this feel really special. It felt like you were reliving that. And it's weird that we're only 5 years removed and it still felt like this nostalgic, exciting experience. And it was so well done.
Assemble.
If I'm honest, I was really surprised with the delivery and execution of this concert experience. It felt like reliving the Infinity Saga in really interesting form. I am curious what the experience would be like for someone who had never seen all or some of these Marvel movies, as the live music paired with the memories of the cinematic moments were just a great balance of nostalgia and real-time excitement. There were plenty of scenes that were re-edited for the experience, taking some dialogue or other music or moments out, which sort of threw me off at times, as some of these movies, I just know them so well, but it all worked so well, and they also allowed some of the cinematic moments to breathe really nicely without any music playing. Like, for example, the scene where Tony Stark crashes into the sand. They had no music for that, and all you could hear was the clinking of his metal suit and him landing in the sand, and I thought those were really nice touches. Ultimately, I have to say, if you're a Marvel fan, I highly recommend this experience if it ends up coming to a city near you. It was really special to be there at the Hollywood Bowl, but I think in general, this is just going to be a really cool experience around the world, wherever Kevin Feige's Marvel Music World Tour ends up stopping. It made me want to go home and rewatch a lot of Marvel movies, many of which I haven't in a very long time. I mean, the MCU is already, 16 years old, and I have not watched Age of Ultron or The Avengers or Captain America: The First Avenger in quite some time. To really end the show, Michael Giacchino, director of Werewolf by Night and composer of the best TV show of all time, Lost, took the stage with a Fantastic Four blazer on and introduced the full theme song for Fantastic Four, which I love, by the way. It doesn't have like the same vigor and fast pace of that John Ottman score from those original Fantastic Four movies, but instead it's like a way more nuanced, futuristic, inspirational thing. Like, if instead of feeling like you're walking into the comic booky world of Universal's Islands of Adventure Park, it feels like you're walking into Tomorrowland as a little kid who can just believe all of this is real and possible and you can achieve anything, which are both great, but they're both very different. I love what Michael Giacchino has done with Fantastic Four, and I find it really interesting the way that Marvel is rolling out Fantastic Four content and starting this promotional train by using the musical score as the first big draw to the movie, other than the footage that was at D23 and San Diego Comic-Con. I have a video of the full theme song on my YouTube channel, so feel free to pop over there and give it a listen. It was a really special night. I'm really glad I got to be a part of it, and I'm really glad you got to experience it the way we just did. I hope this video was fun for you. I really love being a part of these conversations and sharing these experiences with everybody. So if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel right here that you're watching on, because I promise, as best as I can, I'm going to keep making fun content like this, and I'm only going to get better at it, I hope. I like to learn, so if you have any advice, feedback, tips, tricks for YouTube, throw them in the comment section and send them my way. I'm BD. I'll see you in the next video.